Yeah, I don't know why it happened, but it happened. Work on it. Tony. Did you change your profile picture already? I don't know why there's so much that just popped in right there that makes no sense. Cat, alright, work on it. I I am dying. I should be dead.
Katexoho just resubscribed for
God
36
damn it.
months. Damn.
Oh, 36th. Oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Uh, it's what's going on. It's 34 outside, and my white ass cannot survive. Cybersec, hi, welcome on it. A good day. How's everything? I am dying. I have the AC running at full blast at 16 degrees. It's not enough. I have the fan that is on my balls. Not enough. I have the mini fan that is on my desk that is supposed to cool off the Mac. It's not enough. I will turn into a slideshow really, really fast. I'm going to tell you that. I'm dying. I hate it. I hate it. However, um, as the title implies, this is a relic of the past. Uh, this is the version that we had a week and a half ago, I guess. Last Wednesday, last Monday. I don't know. That's that. I would say that's last week build that is still running on my phone because that's the only version that I have. Yesterday, I I decided to figure out how to put the database in place. I failed 5 times, so I gave up and I did something that looked like this. Every single files have been deleted, and every single file I kept, also that's pixelated. Every single file that I kept have been basically deleted, but keeping the main structure of, oh yeah, we just need to have, we know that there is something that is going to be in there, but the rest is going to get away. So 50 something files. I mean 68 in total. One last file that didn't go to. Basically 68 files being deleted, 3 of them being repositioned. And today I started from scratch. Well, basically with these empty ass files. And now we have something. And what pisses me off is that it's not it's not good. The version that I have on my phone is still better to me than the version that I have here. And this version is running on simulator right now because I can't really do anything else. And it's just not working the same. And I don't understand. Right now, I have Paragon. Paragon is one of the perfume that I have tried, whatever. It's mostly, I would say, a citrusy green perfume. So it's supposed to give me like a green background. And that kind of change at times. And I don't understand how and why, when I'm navigating between screens, the background is changing, not changing, and so on. So it's it's annoying. That's the first thing. The second thing is the content is not loading as it's supposed to load. If you look at it right here, I have the information that is needed at the top. Some more information right here. And then, brace yourself, when I'm going into my collection and I'm clicking on the Paragon entry, I am getting a different view, even though it is the same view. And that makes no sense. And then I had to fight with my current testing session to get something similar. I have something similar, which is really good. But then the start testing and the favorite button are not necessarily where they're supposed to be in the slightest. So everything is pissing me off, and things make no sense. Like, this is not centered. I have no control over this thing. I do not decide if it's centered, not centered. It's like the system decided, oh yeah, there is like the need for a bit more space on the right side than on the left. I don't get it. I probably I zoomed in, but because I have like the simulator behind, you can't probably see anything matter, to be honest. So, like that whole thing, Chris, fine, fine. That whole thing is a mess. I hate it. It pisses me off. And I have gripes with Cursor today because they are giving, or at least from what they are saying, they are giving access to ChatGPT 5 fast and ChatGPT thinking 5 thinking until today 12 midnight. So right, that's the plan. Until today at midnight US time zone, I basically have access to it. And in the past 3 days, it was the case. Since it has been announced, it's been accessible for free, and you could use it to generate whatever the fuck you want and so on. And it worked really badly. Like, I was swearing at Cursor, which is not something that I do. I'm usually polite when I'm interacting with the LLMs and the things. I have been calling them names all the time, which is really bad for me. I really a new low for myself. And then today, which is the day just before the deadline, everything is working for some reason. Everything is making sense. Everything works. There is no issues. Yesterday was hell, and today is like I've rebuilt the entire app from scratch in 6 hours. That pissed me off. Yes, that's the plan as well, Chris. That is the plan. The one of the idea that I had for future addition, because the where's that thing? I don't think I will be able to look at this from here. Probably not. I need to check. I will search. I think that's the name. Yeah. So Vision Kit is the Apple AI thing, which is in the app since iOS 13, or in the default like iOS 13 version with UI thing. And that gives you the ability to do things like this, where you take a picture and it recognizes the text, it recognizes the content, it has the ability to showcase, as we shared last time, plants, animals, labels, other things. And so with that, that is built in the iPhone by default, I could 100% take a picture of the bottle, and then if the name is readable, extract that and do a search and saying, well, it looks like this is probably this thing, or maybe this one, but I'm not sure, and therefore you can just pick in between the one that are there. But in order to do that, I need to have the database that work because otherwise it's gonna be a mess. It is going to be a mess. So yeah, I don't know. It pisses me off. I am again this close to fully reverting. I think because I now have a version that is using SQL, SQL, Squill database function. It would be great. We'll call it. How have you been? It would be interesting or better for me to get into like just a different branch using that commit, that last commit. And then I have a version right here, which is the non-GRDB thing, but GRDB still. I know. So basically what that is a simplified version of what I had, which would be technically kind of um, giving me the ability to just use the SQL database as a database structure for the search engine, and then the rest is just on device with Swift data. That seems to be better in a way because it's basically just populating the content on demand. But god damn, I don't like it for more than testing. And I don't know. Like that's the situation. Again, the thing that I'm building, and I think I talked about that on TikTok yesterday or 2 days ago. I forgot. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter. Um, I am over engineering the entire thing, and not by like, oh yeah, we have added like two more features that are not, you know, uh, necessary, but it's fun to have. No, the entire thing is made to be as flawless as it can be for a user with like more than 1,000 entries in their database. So it is basically made for Sephora or all ass brands that have, yeah, 1,000-ish perfumes in their collection, which is like 0.1% of the target audience. But still, this is what I'm trying to have. Like I'm making sure that if the person that is like a whale in perfume that is interested in them and has like so much, it's still going to be flawless. That's the idea. So it is over engineered, and the thing that I have on my phone right now is probably an option. Like I can probably just get that working and sent in the store tomorrow by just going back right about here or right about here, and that would be good enough for the current version of the app, and I could have it on the store. The thing is, if I do that and then I need to migrate the user data to this version, that's going to piss me off, and that's going to be really really bad. So I'm kind of torn. um I know that this one is the last version that like is safe with SwiftUI. This one is the version that is a combination of database sources being SQL and SwiftUI to manage the data. And this one, which is today, is a fully SQL database with most of the content in there, but it doesn't seem or feel as reactive for some reason. Like there is something that is really, really bad, and specifically on this, which again I can't zoom in, but when I'm adding entries, there is things that are like really slow. Like this thing should have multiple gender, for example. This thing has the options, but it's it feels laggy, whereas the one that I have on my phone doesn't, or at least not the same. Like, I don't know if you saw that thing. When I clicked on the search, it took, I don't know, half a second of lighting up and then opening in, which, like, to me feels kind of weird. It doesn't matter, right? Once you have the database that is loaded, you're good, and you're not supposed to enter and enter and enter and enter perfume in a row. But yeah, and then there is this thing as well, which is not necessarily good. Whereas if I'm doing a comparison with this phone, well, and then I'm gonna do that differently, but the same. If I'm adding an entry and I'm looking for something, it doesn't really work because the JSON files haven't been loaded just yet. And then as soon, damn, what on? And then as soon as I have the JSON loaded and I just retap on it, so the delay, right? There is a need for a delay. And it seems more fluid for the loading of this fucking bar. And then when I'm typing, it has a bit of a delay, but then it shows me the correct list. And it's weird. It's weird. Have a good look. Okay. So that's the that's the current situation for me. I don't know if I want to go entirely with the SQL environment, or if I want to go back to the Swift data thing, or if I want to do a mix, and it just makes no sense. It just makes no sense in my head right now. So that's the thing. I'm not row coding. I'm cursoring the entire thing. That's the easiest way for me to go faster. And again, that's the only reason why I have achieved a full rewrite of the entire app today. Like basically since last night midnight to today at 4, so 20 minutes ago. Um, yeah, I slept in the middle, but not much. But yeah, it's a weird thing. There are like a lot of things that are really good. There are a lot of things that are not really good. The design of things are debatable. Like I don't know. It's really similar, right? It's really similar, but it's not exactly the same. And that's bad. That's yeah, that's bad. That's where they I would say that's where I stand right now, which means I don't stand much, but that's where I stand. I'm like, I don't know. Either I ship something, which is feasible, but then there is a high probability of me to have to redo this whole thing again, or I try to figure out everything, which is what I'm trying to do, and then I ship something. But I don't know. But yeah, other than that, we good. Let me see. And the build on Xcode Cloud worked, which means everything is good. And the new version with SQL only is working. So, that's a positive, but also it's lagging, but also it's on simulator, so obviously it's lagging. Ah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm uncertain. That's where I will land on when I am uncertain of things. Because they don't look the same, they don't look as good, they don't look as bad, but like just just the sheer speed of stuff here and there are just easier to work with. I don't know. But yeah, that doesn't change the fact that this happened 7 hours ago. Like the full clear out 7 hours ago of this morning, basically waking up and saying delete all the files. Like basically just remove everything that is not necessary, remove anything that is related to the data, and then re-add one by one all the fucking files. It didn't do one we saved because we needed to have like direction and path for the flows, but that took a while. We have a version which is not as good, but it's something. Yeah, I I fear that I need to test it on device, and I kind of don't want to because the one that I have on my phone is really good. And if I do that, I'm gonna lose some of the things. I mean, I have the commits, but like that is the situation. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, that thing with the background change that makes no sense. That's so much better. I understand why it's so much better, right? It is using the native things from iOS, from SwiftUI, so therefore everything that is as native as it can be, React as native as it can be, and it feels more natural. Whereas this is as native as it can be, with a layer of data that is non-native, and therefore it has a bit of lags here and there. Like it's just, eh, I don't know, I don't know. But yeah, this is where we are. Like that's centered, that's not centered. So yeah, it's been a chaotic day for 34 degrees, and so I am dying. I uh, I have received my refill, which is really good. That's a good thing to have. I have my C4 refill that day in the morning, so I'm happy with that. But god dang, it is a lot. It is a lot. I am sweating. It's sad, and so on. Them, I didn't check most of your links. I did send you a DM earlier today. Probably saw that. Um, about revenue things. I don't think you should. I don't mind it, but I don't think you should. Um, and Stony, regarding the thing you said something is okay for the stream. It's just the logo things. That's your badges. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't mind it, but I don't think it's a good idea. Um, I obviously am biased, right? Obviously, I am biased. But I think these are going to be not true to your channel at some point. And I know you can always change them later and so on. But if you wanted to have something that is a bit more unified and centralized on who you are, what you do, and so on, I do think that if you had something like sub badges, which if you did something like this, that would make more sense to me for your sub badges. Compared to just the logo. The reasoning for me is if you get something that is related to a product, which is like No Mercy is your product, I get it. The probability of you changing products, doing something else at some point, I'm not saying like next year, but probability of. And then this logo specifically, or even changing the logo itself, this logo specifically not really meaning the thing that it was supposed to mean, or it has changed, or it has evolved, or something, is a higher probability than Tony Eagle changing your name and not being bird related. So that's why I'm like, if you have the ability to just remain on bird themed badges and sub and things, that that would work. At least it would work for me. So I'd say that, but you do you. Yeah, very, very simple ones could 100% work. There is a thing. These ones are really, really nice. No, but they are really nice for the same thing that I've done. So if you look at my sub badges, there is no S. My sub badge, because I am a T3 sub on my own channel, both of my eyes are glowing. If you are a tier 2 sub, one of you, you're like basically winking, one of you is glowing. And if you are a tier 1 sub, like most of you, like all of you technically, none of your eyes are glowing. And so that's one way for me to kind of decipher how long and how much I'm getting from you. Whereas here, for example, you can do the exact same thing by having the stars at the top being like only for tier 1 sub, the star at the bottom being only for the tier 2 sub, and the star everywhere for the tier 3. Or maybe you just have no stars at all, and then stars 1 for tier 1 or tier 2, bottom tier 3, like that thing. So these are pretty nice for this, but that's the only thing. That's the only thing. Yeah, I would rather you go further than you go logo. That makes sense in your head. What do you mean you got distracted? You bitch. I was saying I'm against the logo as the sub badges. I think it's a bad idea. I think it's gonna be wrong soon. Whereas if you go feather, it's gonna be better because you get something that is more bird themed, and therefore you get bird themed things. I think is better. That's it. That's the recap. The past hour of me yapping about your sub badges. Recapped in 3 seconds. So yeah, I would rather you go with feathers, whichever feathers you have. Like these ones are different feathers types, which I don't know, but why not? They do have like animated, which makes no sense, but like it's just videos. But yeah, having something like this would just make the channel be Tony Eagle, and you're probably never gonna change that name. Could happen, but probably can't. And the other thing is, the thing that I just said was No Mercy, the probability of it changing its name, the probability of it changing its logo, the probability of it being your secondary product um, is higher than you changing your name and having like a bird themed channel point, channel reward, uh, channel badges, emotes, and so on is a bit more of a cohesive thing that would probably retain and remain for longest time because people already know you with that name. You know, if you change that name right now, that would make no sense. So yeah, that's about it. That's about it. And you don't need much. Like again, you don't need a lot. I do like these ones because they are very simple. I would say one of the yeah, no, we're going. It's a good day indeed. It is hot and I am sweaty, so it is a good day. I no no D. I mean that's no D either. The thing that I would say is that because they are just color related, it might be less nice to work with. Like, where you at? Where am I? Here. I get that, but also no. Uh, like these, right? These are my current one. As I said, tier one, tier two, tier three. So you are blinking or shining, depending on how much money you give me. Hmm, give me more if you want. But same thing here. I have like flares and other things. Like if you're on lollipop related, um, if you are tier two, you have the stick. If you are tier three, you have the stick and the shiny that you know, like you have these things. And same thing here, but this one is kind of weird. It's mostly like the background that changes. Um, but you know, that's an ID, and then this one is a bit more simple, right? Like your first month is at 0, your second month is at once. So it's basically dev related because it's like an array. So index one is months two. You know, like that's the thing. But that was like an interesting thing at some point, and it is easier. The main goal for the badges and the sub badges and the things in the chat is for the streamer to know how long you've been here, but also for the rest of the chat to know how long you've been here and to look for or look up to that badge if they are interested in just having it. But yeah, so that's the idea. You can steal this one. It's a the first one were really cute. I really liked these ones. They were too tiny, but they were pretty nice. They looked just like dots, which isn't exactly good. But it happened. The first day of stream, that was the badges. So we have evolved like a lot, a lot. But yeah, like these are ID. At least for me, I could say or I could see different feathers based on the length. Sounds weird. So these ones, for example, are really much the same every time. The first one we looked at are different feathers based on where you are. So you have like feather one, two, three. They're all kind of similar, right? They look the same, but they have different colors, and they might have been made by just like, oh, I've done this one. Let me do it like a second where I'm just tracing on top of it, and then I have something else. But yeah. Um, Hi, we're calling. How are you? Still not gay? No. Welcome back. How's your day going? So yeah, I feel like this is something that would probably make more sense. Um, but yeah, not gay. It depends. I don't care. You get my point, right? Feathers much better. If the channel theme is around yourself, which is supposedly what we do around here, right? You're supposed to have a channel that is around you because that's you are the one that is on the channel, right? And that's me. So with that in mind, I want the channel to be about me, and I want the thing that you will have uh, to be about the channel itself, which is about me. With that in mind, right here, the emotes that we have, which obviously because 7TV, they are currently based on me. That makes kind of sense, right? It's the base, regular things. These are the old one. They will come back, but we have thing that makes sense because it is based on the channel itself. If we go into the badges, these badges, god damn, that's a lot. Uh, these badges are based on the channel because the channel are around the skulls, and I have the skulls everywhere, and that's my logo and so on. So it is around me. If I made it around Can, for example, if I did say that this was the thing that I'm building, which is the reason why I'm saying no for the logo, I'm currently building something else. So with with that in mind, if I'm building the channel environment throughout Can as a thing, and then I decide to not build that anymore, or I decide to change product or change the name or have something else, I would need to change the entire identity of the stream again. Whereas if it's just me, the only thing that I need to change is the emotes. If I change the emotes, I'm good. Nothing else needs to change. The badges are around the channel, and we good. So that's the reason. The logo itself is not necessarily going to be a good idea because of that. Uh, because the probability of you deciding to change and saying, "Oh yeah, well, we're not gonna do that," um, like we're not gonna work on No Mercy anymore, or No Mercy has changed name, or it's a different type of product, so that logo needs to change. It's still No Mercy, but it's a different logo. It's a badge. I get it. You can change it in like a second, but still, you know, you can avoid that. Would be good. I am dreaming of this. Not, not, not bad. But I'm really sad about the fucking prices of fractal stuff because oh, my internet is dying. It's too hot to be able to do stuff. It looks so comfy. They have like a version they showcased that was like kind of green, like their cases, and I would love to, but yeah, not this green, the forest green with the one with the wood in front that they had as a one-time thing. Yeah, God damn. They changed so much. Anyways, details. So yeah, that's the only recommendation that I would have for these badges. If you just wanted to use the No Mercy logo right now with different colors, why not? Make sure you have flares for the. That's bad. Make sure you have flares for the uh, tier 2, tier 3, if you care about that. And yeah, um, yeah, I thought about it as well. I know that the sad thing is that I don't have um, desk stuff, office stuff. What the fuck is name? There. Um, there was like a a previous version of the chair that they had that was really good, and then they changed it, and the new version is really shit. And lately, this one is the one that is like recommended, but I don't like it because the fucking armrests are not good. Um, yeah, that's the same. That's the same reasoning for me. I don't like these. I don't like the fact that the armrests are not movable. Or yeah, I do like the green though. I'm not gonna lie. I love the green. Yeah, but I need armrests. Listen, I'm annoying. There, got there. I are we gonna see some ass? Probably. Some titties. Cool. Um, I was right. The fractal one, which I mean, I didn't really matter. Um, basically, what they have here, the armrests themselves are movable in height and in rotation as well. We saw that more on the fucking like here. So that's the yeah, that's the reason. I need this, and then I like this as well. I like this a lot too much to be honest. But yeah, if I go into let's say I don't think we have much to be honest. Um, that was supposed to open the fucking website, not just that. Yeah. Um, yeah, these bitches don't have anything. Nonetheless, I do like some of the IKEA. That's the wrong thing. Some of the IKEA chairs for sure for their design. I know that the tall one, like these ones, were good at some point, and then they changed the design a tad, and now it's kind of shit. Um, and it's really bad, and I'm sad about it. They used to have really good chairs and really simple chairs that just worked, just worked. Um, anyway, some example of good onboarding screens. Yes and no. There are um brain, brain, the name, brain, the name. Start with a name. Ah, ah, there. Um, AppQs, if I remember, is pretty good lagging website. Uh, system for onboarding specifically for an app like yours. And I know it's mostly like websites rather than anything else, to be honest. But it works. So the reason and the thing that they do is you go through, um, like you open the app for the first time and then you have a queue on the app. That's the goal. That's the name. They did a good job on finding the name, and it's placed appropriately. So it is contextual. So you have like your cues wherever things needs to happen, rather than having them uh, as an onboarding of 3 steps, and you're like, step one, this is how it looks. Step two, this is how it looks, and so on. So that's two schools for this. Schools like myself, which prefer having like in situation contextual tool tips that just says, well, here is the thing that you need to do, and here is how it works. And there is the other onboarding school that is just saying, here is how the entire app works. Step one, step two, step three, maybe step four, and then you go in the app. And I'm not against it. This is what I have for Can for now because I needed something really quickly. But yeah, if you do you have an iPhone? I forgot. Feel like you don't, but also I don't know. I don't think you do. Uh, the thing that I was about to say is do you have an iPhone, and specifically, do you have an iPhone that is running iOS 26 beta 6 or beta 5? To be exactly perfectly exact. I didn't record it. I should have. Basically, the latest version, beta 6, had an onboarding to like say welcome to iOS 26, and it showed you how things are working, and it was some sort of a good onboarding in slide, but it's also like video based. So they had like small videos in the background instead of having static images, which is much better than. But yeah, app queues is the first thing that I would recommend for getting access to contextual things. The second thing is going to be TipKit, which I like a lot. If you're building for iOS directly and you want something that is native, it's basically the same thing. It's supported since iOS 17. So, not the latest, but not the oldest either. So, depending on what you want to do. And it's basically the same thing. You can define that you have a tooltip that is like displayed at certain times, displayed at certain placements based on the screen resolution and so on. It is pretty good. It's a bit of a positioning nightmare if your app is built like mine. This one, not the new one. So, but it's nice. But yeah, there is that. The other thing is the onboarding section of Apple's new apps are extremely simple. I feel like I should be able to get them here, maybe. Yeah, shit like this. That's usually how it goes for most apps, most iOS apps. And again, I have nothing against it. I just feel like it's kind of limited and not necessarily giving enough information to the user. This is like a what's news. It's different, I know, but still, a lot of apps, specifically like the latest Apple Music, has something very similar. And we have seen very similar onboarding session and onboarding sections that were just step one, step two, step three, and then you're done. And so a lot of people are doing like very much the same. So for the complexity of you and the thing that you're building, I would say the contextual menu is going to be the best option. You could have a combination of both, saying slide A, this is how the app looks. Slide B, this is how you add content. Slide C, this is where your content is leaving. And then you have a start exploring. That's good if you do, and I don't know if you do, but if you do something similar to what Notion did, which was having a template environment with a template file, template page, template database in there, and so on. If you do that, that's, I would say, the best option because you basically provide to the user exactly what they can have access to by default. And then if they want to remove, edit, change, do something about it, they're going to have to really edit the thing and really play with the elements. So I think that's better. At least that's good. So yeah. I would say a mix of both would be the best option for you. So something like something like this might not work because it's too conceptual and too like vague. Something like this might be a better option. It's basically the same concept, right? Um, you have the skip button to continue, and then the let's get started. They usually have 3 steps. If I go into not there, that makes no sense. If I go into this, and let's bring it here. If I go into this, and I show you my onboarding here, which you probably have seen. I have 5 steps, which is already way too much, but I have 5 steps where you are here, you do things that would define how your app behave. So the first question is, what's your language? So I'm just giving you the ability to just, change stuff and change the language of the app. Then you have a bit of information of how things are going to happen. It's visual, and I have the animation to show you like step by step, and then it reverts and so on. I have this thing that shows you where the main activity or the main quizzes are going to be. So you click on there, it's locked to the tab. It's written. It's not really readable and it's really bad, and I wish it wasn't the case, but that's the case for now. After that, I just have a bit of a hint that if you want to get more information, you can buy the dictionaries, and it's like really stated in tiny, tiny, tiny thing that it is in that purchases, but it's there. And then you get ready to start, which this is kind of useless, but whatever. That is too vague for me. I wish it wasn't the case. I wish it was like in person thing. So that if I'm here when I'm opening the app for the first time, I'm here. This thing is truly unseen, and I have like a bit of a tooltip in the center that says if you click on a character, it opens. You click on it, it opens. And then maybe I'm giving you a hint and saying if you click on a character that has like an M on the side, it opens and it has like more information. It's more interesting to you. That is currently done with this specific element that is just like a tooltip, but not a tooltip. I don't like it, but that's fine. And then here, I basically have the same thing with, I'm supposed to have like a button in the top right, but right now it disappeared. That's really bad. That's not where it's supposed to be. Holy shit. That's wild. Really bad. Uh, but yeah, that's the, I would say that's the simplest stuff. I would have like a tooltip for this to say if you want to start a quiz, it's going to be right here. And if you want to hide your readings, it's going to be right here. Something that is like an overlay in the first run is easier. So for here, for example, I would say nothing. I'd probably have, which is basically what I did, but I'd probably have something um, like that to really showcase where things are and what happened. So maybe uh, maybe one of the regular arrows, also the computer is dying right now. That's crazy. It's hot. Uh, a very basic arrow like this, you know, like this was an onboarding that I designed, and just having an overlay in the background that is cut out on the element itself. And then, yeah, that's a basic arrow. That is a basic arrow. And then in the onboarding news thing, I'm giving you the information again. So I'm basically giving you the information twice. I'm telling you here that we now have a focus on the portfolio, and that this is new, and this is here, and this is also new. And now we have a global inbox for everything, and it's located here. So that's like very, very simple, but it is like a full screen overlay that is covering the entire thing, that makes sure that you see this big ass thing in the center, and you see what it's related to, and you know what it is, and it's in context. So that to me is so much better. So for myself, I would probably have arrows like this, or I would have things like the initial path ID that I had, like these lines, just going down and showing quiz is going to be here, and then applied reading is going to be here. Then it's just like a fog thing at the bottom. Um, but like that would work, not entirely work, but that would work. And I would do, just think that is bang. There. I do something along the line of probably that. Roughly. Not exactly, but I would probably do something like this that just gives the user an overlay that just states you have something here and you have something here, and here is what they are used for. So maybe on like the first entry, you would have something here that says start a quiz right here, and then hide readings. And so this one would be somewhere around here. This one would be somewhere around the center there. They need to be, they both probably centered, centered. And if it's white, this one is going to be black, or maybe the color of the user choices and so on. Let's put them black for now. And then you know, like much better than this, but probably this. Probably something like this. Um, because that to me makes a lot more sense and give the user uh, something that is like more natural and easy to understand, and therefore they're like, oh yeah, I get that. I would say this if I'm using black, which I wouldn't, but if I'm using black, this is the only time where I would probably have like a drop shadow in the background that would be white, um, to just make sure that this thing is kind of having enough contrast ratio with the background. But it, but yeah, like that would be my overlay on first launch, where you open the thing and you're like, oh, if you want to hide reading, it's going to be here. If you want to start a quiz, it's going to be here. Then you tap on whatever. If you tap on this thing, it goes through a quiz. If you tap on this thing, it disappears and it hides the readings. But like it's simple, easy, contextual, and therefore you avoid this all of the screens, all of the things that the user needs to go through to make sure that they reach this page, like this 5 screen that I have. No good. So yeah, I'd do that. I'd do that for sure. And then the weirder they are, the more memorable they become. So that kind of helps at times. I guess. I guess that would work with more contrast and better placement. Which that makes sense. The thing that I have, however, for your app is that it is massive. So you have like so much information to share. You have so much things to explain, present, ensure the user understand how things work. Um, yeah, but I mean, you're in the same situation as me, right? Which I think you missed at the beginning of the stream where I explained that I just deleted all the files earlier this morning, rebuild the entire app in 7 hours. um, you are over engineering the entire thing, like me, which is good. Good job. But like scaling down is not gonna give you like a full feature app. right? You're probably still gonna have like 16. So welcome back. Bitch. Bitch. I just I I just put one fucking point, and I want that fucking point to be an arrow, not all of the points to be an arrow. Figma, we had that a second ago. That right here, we have it. Like it's working. Good. uh, maybe it needs to be the opposite, to be honest. Now that I'm looking at it. I mean, not even maybe. I feel like this is gonna be much better if I just, do that. Die. That happens. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I could export that. I wouldn't, but I could export that and get that. Would that work? I just play a bloody. No, I can't. Because it's not a mask. It's not a mask. So yeah, no, I would do that for your like overall thing and making sure that you have enough easy understanding in the first three screens because you kind of need the onboarding three screens, you know. That's the thing that is necessary. And then once that is done, I would say in situation when necessary, when possible, get yourself one of these like all tips with the right thing, please. Like, I mean, this is a massive one, but yes, one of these. Like, just getting there and just saying, well, you have these options. They are right here, and this one is animated, so obviously it's gonna work. But yeah, uh, I'd say this is the easiest thing to do. It's just like situational, contextual. It makes sense, and then the 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 reason I'm recommending app queues all the times, right? I'm never moving from my house. I have the AC here. There is no AC where Cat is. I am not moving. I'm moving in winter, maybe, but I doubt it. Um, I need the call. As I said, I'm debating buying a second AC just to cool off my flat more. So yeah, I should just isolate better. put the isolation better, but yeah. Anyways, derails has been derailed. The reason why I love app queues is because it is contextual, but it's also not all at the same times. Meaning that if I'm, let's say we had one on app queues around here, and I open the app for the first time, I open this website for the first time, and then I start scrolling, and I scroll 3 times, and at 3 times, it picks up middle row. This is a thing, and I'm hovering something, and it gives me a tooltip that is like basically showing the heart and saying if you want to like a post without opening it, you can just click this button, and it will like. And I'm like, oh, cool, good. And then I keep scrolling, and maybe I say, oh, I do like this, and then it's giving me things like a tooltip here that says, oh, if you want to show details, it's going to be around here, and you can open that. And so these cues are based on where I'm currently located and nothing else. So it's not distracting. It's not something that blocks me as the user to go through the app, meaning that the onboarding doesn't exist. It's just like, oh, here is the app, and here is how it works in like 2 steps, and then yeah, and then you're done. So that's the to me that's the best option. Well, you decide. Because you asked like for good onboarding screens. I think 2 or 3 screens that just do this, for example. Uh, like here is feature 1, feature 2, feature 3. And then you're done. That's good. Uh, Again, contextual is going to always win for me. And if it's like post contextual, that's also good. But like I have removed some of the initial thing, but like same thing here. Um, like I on this one we talked about it before. On this one, what it is because we know that from the platform we have the ability to download stuff. We do provide the option to let the user download like a CSV or something. If we detect the browser, we're gonna point to the location where we know the download folder is. So for Chrome and for Arc, it's in the bottom left corner. For Firefox, Opera, and Safari, it's on the top right corner. So we just have like different tooltips that will appear based on what the user is doing. And this is something that will be showcased and displayed not all the times. Like you know that your downloads are in a very specific location after the 5th one. So maybe the first 2 you showcase, the 3rd one don't say anything, the 4th one you say something, and then the 5th one they're like, yeah, okay, I know where the fucking thing is. So yeah. No, TD, it's not. It's not. It's a small number. Because I couldn't transfer stuff. Basically, the complexity of Swift UI and its complexity of integration in the current year step off or setup of the the project, switching to another type of database or data management was. I mean, I work on it for the past 4 days, and I failed every time. So this morning, I just, I just removed everything and uh, and kept the like bare bone as I could simplification of the views that were needing to remain, like as bare bone as possible, which is like that's all I kept. And then um, in 7 hours, I had the entire thing rebuilt with the new database. So that's the reason. Because now we have a version that has the SQL, SQL, SQL database option. I don't like it, but it's there. It's working. So that's that is that is, and it's not really markdowns. Uh, yeah, I kinda did. On my own with no help from cursor at all. That's not it. That's not that's not a full 7 hour chat window with context and understanding. Ah, I'm still not at the top. God damn it. Yeah. Um, I'm on the old plans, so I'm fine. I'm one of the few that have been fucked by cursor without really noticing it, and then I mean I did notice it, but not really. But I basically have one of the best situation I would say for myself, where that's the wrong thing. In my settings, and if I go into my more analytics section, uh, I thought we had more than this, but yeah, um, we had another view. We had another view. It's not there. Where the fuck is this? That overview. Yeah. Did I go back to April? Is that an option? I doubt it. Oh, I can go back to January. Yeah, no, I can't do that. Shit. So yeah, no, my overall thing is pretty nice. I'm kind of fine with the use case, and my token is just like I have 500 fast requests, and then I'm done, and I'm using the slow requests in auto to get yeah. So I don't have credits, which is really good. That's the best option. Um, GPT-5 is kind of shit and kind of good at the same time. I hate it and I like it. It's fine. Using it through Cursor was free until tomorrow, so you could have access to this for free right now. See that at the bottom? I mean, you can't see that at the bottom, but you can get that's that's where we are. This was free until today midnight, but it's not good, but it's not bad. It's kind of annoying. It has like yesterday it was overthinking more than me, which is telling. It is telling. Like it's just I wish we had like a better reasoning section, because this one is a 30-second reasoning, 20-second. There, I mean, I've had many 2 minutes, 5 minutes reasoning things at times, would just go through so much for no apparent reason. Like, you start here of clarifying the difference in timeline, and then in different identifying the files, summarizing the thing that has been found, figuring out other thing, clarifying again, summarizing, making sure, and then it gives me a response that is just not necessarily what I needed, and and basically what happened, or at least from my point of view, what happened is that they overthink and they go as deep as possible in order to have the greater understanding. But then when they do so, if you have files that have the names of the things that are supposed to be um like uh let's say I have something that is called databases, right? That's pretty simple as to what it would be used. If I'm referencing the database on a Markdown file for documentation, and I'm just hypothetically explaining what could be, and it's just like a potential plan, it will take that potential plan as the source of truth as well, and then explain what my potential plan is currently implemented, which is not true. It also has had the habits of pulling numbers out of its ass a lot, because the database that I have has 94,000 perfume entries with some duplicates that needs to be merged and so on. And basically, because in one of my file I had something saying we have 74,000 entries, it was never looking at 94,000 entries. It was like stopping, oh, we found 74,000, therefore we good. And the rest is not there. So I had like to reiterate 3, 4 times yesterday to just make sure that listen to me. Other than that, it's fine. Other than that, it's okay. Um, it's just like it thinks too much, and I wish we had like a version of GPT-5 without thinking. That would be way more efficient. To just say, "Oh yeah, get me that without reasoning," and I will pay for it for sure. But if you give it to me with reasoning, I don't have the thinking time. Like, again, it's, to me, for this chat, probably not, but like for yesterday chat, with the amount of like um annoyance that happened in the fact that I reverted the entire thing. Like, this is a 1 minute thing, this is a 37-second, 1 minute again. I probably lost, I don't want to say like 2 hours of thinking, but I probably lost like a good hour and 30 minutes of just waiting for the fucking model to figure out what I was asking for. And if I'm not paying attention to the reasoning section, and I don't catch the fact that it's thinking about something that is absolutely different than what I'm trying to build, it's gonna try to build something, and then I'm gonna be like, ah, no, that's not what I said. Revert. So yeah, I need a pee though. 1 second.
This is evolution. This is evolution.
Holy shit. So yeah, other than that, it's fine. Um, and I think I wish I could, yeah, verify the specifics, but I can't. I don't have the skills, so it's kind of complicated for me to just, uh, you know, make sure. The only option that I have is that it's proposing something, and then I'm going here in Xcode, and I'm just saying, do we have compilation error? If yes, then I'm not gonna, uh, I'm just gonna copy paste the compilation error and just say, well, this is not working. This needs to be updated, changed, whatever. And then from there, I'm getting something that is working. But I don't really check for myself because I don't have the skills. That's the sad part. And the amount of work that is required of me in order to potentially reach a point where I have the skills to be able to say the specifics are wrong and I could do that myself is going to take years, if not more. So I don't think it's going to be an option just yet. Yeah, yeah, that's a that's an annoyance as well. It did ignore my request many times today, specifically in the morning, where I basically said we need to change the data layer and just change the data layer and don't change anything else than the data layer. And then it changed the views and the UI, and I was like, bitch, no, that is not what I asked. So, eh, eh, that looks like shit. See, you saw that fucking background thing for a split second? That makes no sense. Why? Yeah, I don't have any linter checks. I mean, I don't. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I don't have any linter errors every time. Um, like it's just I see the checking for linter lint whatever when we have something, but that's about it. Like in the thought right there. Uh, but yeah, I'm also not the best person for this because obviously I don't know, and I wish I did. I wish I did. Holy fuck. Oh. I'm gonna tell you that today's stream is gonna be short, just like me, and I am already tired, and I'm currently dying from the heat. So that's not gonna be good. And anyways, also, this thing is not pulling hair. BAC. BAC. Can I do that though? I might be able to do that. That might help. AI without thinking would be great, to be honest. I would love that, but again, and we talked about that in deep depth and extent. AI doesn't exist. Something that is intelligent cannot be artificial, and something that is artificial cannot be intelligent based on the simplest of the description of each of these fucking words and how they are used. Anyways, these are machine learning things, but they are also just algorithm and they are just if-else statements. So right now, they are probability machines that define which words is supposed to be the next based on the rest. So you have the previous 15 words, you have an understanding of the words that are supposed to be used, and based on that, based on massive amount of data, we kind of know which one is supposed to be next. That's basically what it is. And for me, if it was like a competent autocomplete that would be able to understand the task and autocomplete based on the task without creating things, it would make more sense. So again, designer, so biased towards something very specific. But I have, this is a hypothetical as well. I have a client. Client is telling me we are building a dating app. And I'm like, cool. I know how dating apps are supposed to look. Great. Let me build something for you. My autocomplete is this. I go into UI 8. I go into there. I look for dating. And then when I have a dating app, based on the feedback that the client has told me or told me, the brief, the things, the entire context that I have, I will be like, okay, cool. So that dating chat seems pretty aligned with what we are trying to build. It seems pretty good, and might it might work. Let me just buy that, download that based on if I'm logged in or not, and that's it. That's my autocomplete. And so for AI that doesn't think, I to ends, not to A's. Um, the the thing would just be like I'm trying to build this in code based on what I'm trying to build, which is like probably not unique, right? I'm trying to have a collection view that contain data that is coming from a database. Very, very simple. That is a template. That's something that should be able to be like, okay, cool. So that's your template. Based on the database that you gave me, I know that the data that is supposed to go in is this one, this one, this one, and this one. That's it. It's a copy paste. And that's that there is no like generating the next words. And it can't be wrong because it's just that's the building block element that I needed. And I just drag and dropped it exactly where it needs to be, and now I have this, but like in code. So yeah. Yes, I'm using it every day. I know that sounds like I'm lying, but are you gonna die? Are you gonna not connect? God damn it. I'm currently on my 162nd day in a row on my iPhone. On my you won't be able to see that probably. This one, I'm on the 157 day in a row. On the Android phone. And the other Android phone is on day 27 in a row because it's mostly the one I'm using for dev. But yeah, they are all like I'm using them all every day, all the time, as much as I can, so that I make sure that it works for me. If it works for me, it will work for other people. So yeah. How does it feel if you are using something you have created? It feels really good because I've learned so much stuff. I'm really happy with the output. I'm really happy with my ability to now be able to. I wouldn't say that I'm not making any mistakes, but for example, I just finished the slang dictionary, and in there, if I start a quiz, the fact that now I know that this is MOB and that um like Darui is gonna be here, that like all of these words that are from the quizzes that I had to learn through, like the practice and the quiz and the things, is really good, at least for me, to get something and to see making progress in Japanese, which was the goal and the creation of the app and the reason why I built it. I wouldn't lie to you and say that I haven't like used it less than the prior 2 weeks because I'm currently building the other app. But I'm currently building this one and I'm using this one all the time. So yeah. Hmm. I tried Anki and I hated it. So still have it on my phone. But yeah. Um uh Chris, to answer your question, how to balance the user needs, request and your needs, you just check if they are aligned. If the users are saying, "Oh, I wish there was this," and you're like, "Yeah, nah, that's never gonna happen," and then users are asking, "Oh, I wish there was this," and you're like, "Yeah, why not? I'm fine with that having that on the app. Let's build this." That's how you can do it. That's not necessarily a good thing business wise, but technically speaking, I don't really give a shit. Like these apps are not necessarily business ventures for me. They are mostly um, ventures. So I want these things to kind of help me and help me figure out how I can build stuff. That's the main idea. On top of that, like making sure that something that is not necessarily what something that I want, but that the user are requesting, and I'm still adding it even though I don't want it, is when 90% of my user base is telling me, you need this now. Like, this is the thing that is supposed to be in the app and you don't have it. So that's when, and only when, I'm listening to the users' requests. If their requests is not aligned with mine, but is overwhelmingly everyone is asking for this. So that's that's the thing. And for Anki, I don't think I'm replacing Anki. I think I'm different, but built different. Um, but yes, for me right now, Anki is really much the one I have taken. Right, it's different. It's not the same thing. It's a lot of looking for the right deck in order to figure out what I want to learn. And I wanted to learn the Japanese, like the first Japanese things. And so it makes sense, but I, I'm a designer. I hate this. This makes no sense to me. Like, what in the thinking did you have where the thing that you're supposed to remember is that tiny in the top left corner? And the action you as the user needs to do is tap on the screen and then define where you stand in this thing. And I'm like, this was really easy to me. Ashi is really easy. However, this is Ashi. and Ashi is the feet, the leg, the thigh, um, chopsticks, a bridge. There is another one. So just having it with that, I don't know the relationship. I don't know which one you are supposed to say in this point. So it was easy for me to do that. I knew it was one of these, so I get it. That's fine. It's easy. But then I'm here and I'm like, God damn, this is awful. This it makes no sense. Then you have other decks that have the decency of giving you like the characters in a bigger format, or and then you have other decks that do that as well. But then when you tap on it, it gives you like descriptions and definitions and stuff. Useful, yes, but also not that much because it's kind of weird. So I hate that about Anki. That's the main reason. And so looking for the right decks, finding a deck that seems to be pretty good, and then making sure that the content of the deck is exactly what you need. Annoying, annoying. So with that, I I went to Duolingo mostly, but then here the reason or the thing that I have is if I have something and I need to learn something that is in Japanese, specifically Japanese, and keys for everything, but like Japanese is the usual thing. Um, I want to know and I want to see things. I want to read through the words and be like, okay, so this one, which is this character, which I have maybe never seen before, I don't know, is Mayu. Cool, that's Mayu. I can take a look at it. I can ensure that I understand, and then I have the character next to it, and then I see that this is the roof, and this is the eye. So I'm thinking if you have a roof and an eye, that is probably an eyebrow. Yes, that makes sense. So I can see all of that, then I can obviously like uh, go in, check it out, make sure that I understand the content and so on. You know, details. And then when I'm in a quiz, I have the word and then the option. And if I can't read them, I'm seeing the reading underneath because my goal is to understand the characters that I would see every day, not not the not character. So if I'm seeing this and I'm like, I don't know what that is, I can read it, then I see that's Yube. So maybe Yube is something that is around here. And if I don't know, I can just, play with it, um, and so on. That's wrong, cool. But that makes more sense to me. Um, and what Enki is doing. So it is space repetition. You do have, even though not that big, but you do have like analytics and understanding of your progress over time, what you've done. Apparently, I am low priority, and I need to uh, work on that because I haven't practiced them in a while. That's the reason. Um, but like to me, it's better than Enki just because it's better designed and I don't need to look for things. It's just it's in there. But it's paid, so I get the lack of users. I mean, lack of users. We have 2,000. That's not lack of users, but still, um, that's the thing. And yeah, there is one deck that I found once that had um, anime basically clips of the sentences or of the word that I'm learning in a sentence in an anime specifically. But that was a mess, and the fact that I had to look for that for a long time was also very annoying. So yeah, and then the other thing which I didn't care, but Enki iOS is $24, so I bought the app to get access to it, play with it. Which, like I'm fine with that, but still. Not having like at least a small amount of free tier would make more sense. Like I know this is way different, and this is like I'm not building my apps to make money. So obviously my business models are really, really bad for these. But if you just had Anki for free on mobile, that was technically giving you the ability to have like one deck that is composed of 50 cards. That's it, like nothing else. And that's free. And then I'm seeing the positive from one deck of 50 cards at a time. And I can remove the deck, add a new one, and rotate and basically have the app for free. But it's just like it's annoying because it's just 50 fucking thing. Whereas regular decks can be like 200. Is better for some people. I would see that as a positive, but that's not the case. So, you know, eh. But yeah, the UI is just so bad. I wish I could like contact them and say, do you need a designer? And do you have the will to redesign the app? Because a lot of people would like love for this app to be just a smidge better. Just a smidge. Not much. One smidge. That's it. Like the stuff that I had in the we talked about it before. In the question, in let's go there. In the question here, I make sure that my words, when they are like elongated, um, and like that's not the right thing. When they're elongated, like these ones, that the fonts is not gonna be that big, and it's gonna be like smaller so that it fits the container. Or if it really needs to be smaller, it is smaller because it needs to be 3 lines. They could just do that with a max width or max font size and a min font size so that it's in the center of the screen and that's enough. The other one that I'm not gonna say I like it, but is Quizlet, which is basically the same thing, and you just get out. And so if I'm getting like a lesson, I haven't tried it on mobile, so that's the thing. But like it kind of makes sense, and their flashcards are to me kind of the same. Um, like it's I don't know, it's fine. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it's still really bad design wise for me to see this. Like I would. Can I do that? Can I just do that? What's my font size? Yeah. I might say it would be much better, to have my font size at like 80 points, and maybe you want your text alignments to be center right there. That's a new interface for the fucking thing. And if that remained the same, it would be better. In the center, I get that. It's where it needs to be. I can read it. But no. So Yeah, that's the thing. So Chris, to answer the question, using something that I built myself is positive because I can see when there is issues, and it's also negative because I can't see when there is issues. I know I said the same thing for the two options. The reason for that is I know how to use the app. Obviously, I build it, so I'm not like confused. And I wish I was times. I wish I had things that were saying in my head, oh, this could be brought to the user a bit more prominently or easier to understand how things are going to happen in the view. But because I know exactly how things work, it's not the case. So I haven't, because I haven't ranked in a while. um, what I usually do is I give it to my mom, which has no interest in learning Japanese for no reason. And same thing for my sister. Like I'm giving them to people that I'm not necessarily aware of the app, and I'm just looking at it. And I'm like, what do you think you can do? Now, where do you think things are? Have you have questions? Are there things that just don't make sense? Can you just look around? Just play with it. Tell me. Um, like that's the thing that I do most of the time, just to make sure that I have a good understanding. But for example, in Reddit, on the first post that I made, someone said that the button to start a quiz was not visible. And I kind of can see that as an option. Like if you're here and this is broken, apparently, let me do that instead. Oh, god dang. Light mode is what people are seeing when they are loading. So your ability to see the navigation and the option might be different than what I have. So I could see that as a negative, but also like if you follow through the onboarding, you probably have seen the thing because I explicitly said where it is. So, you know, but there is that. The onboarding needs to be better. That's something that I know. Um, and I just didn't take the time to work on it on this pass, and I need to very soon. Um, but that's the thing. The rest is pretty simple. Most of the content makes sense. Most of the content is as accessible as it can be. Most of the times, and like it's there. But that's a long number. But yeah, that's the only thing. If I had that ability to just go through the app without knowing which drunk is an option, I don't necessarily drink, so that or when I do, I'm not thinking about it. Like I'm not drinking on purpose to test the app, which could be fun. Um, but yeah, but it skewed my views, that's for sure. And then the other thing is because I'm power usering the thing and powering through the entire app with purpose, with knowledge, and how things are supposed to behave. It is way easier for me to break it as well. Like that's the thing that is really good. It's like I'm testing it, but I know that if I go a tad bit too fast in that type of questions, I'm getting logs about some issues. Uh, I know that if I retain these logs long enough, the app is going to crash. The behaviors that I'm doing, no user should ever do. Uh, so I'm kind of fine with it, but we never know. I would say that's the thing. I'm dying, which is fine. Finally, if I die on stream, I think that's a good idea. That you can, you know, call someone to clean out the house. If I die when I'm not streaming, and then I'm just not showing up the next day, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. I would just disappear. Anyways, Chris, eh, it could happen. That's a very light mode thing. Nox, hi, welcome on. If I don't hear anything, that's the first thing. I kind of said the same thing last time when you sent me a link earlier. I have no sound, and you can see that right here. That's bad. That means that your build is not giving me any sound. Not good. Specifically for these things, right? You have the AI generated variations, and you have the initial file. If I need to type something to get this to work, it's interesting. But that's bad. It's not responsive the way that it's supposed to be. That's fine. Your entire view is growing instead of your right side. That's a technical thing. It's fine. And your chat history is not maintained. You need convex. There is no question. There you need like a database, something that is going to retain data, ensure that data is good, and then let the user upload content. So I would I forgot the end. I can't type. I would highly recommend you to use this. We talked about it last time, but just get like your database set up and organized in a way that makes sense, because it's going to need to be live based on the fact that you have the need for an AI inside of your product. So what they do is create wrappers for AI products and basically create database wrappers for AI products. So that could really be easy to do what you're trying to do. So, that's an option. Or at least it should be an option. Nonetheless, I don't have sounds. I don't have any ads playing, so there is no... Don't think there is anything. Yeah, there's no sound. So that's the sad part. I think the thing is fine. It's not necessarily good in terms of design. But again, I don't really care. I've been saying that for a while. Make it exist and make it better later. Like, make it pretty later. So I I need the thing to exist. I need to be able to see how it's generating things, how the thing that are pre-generated sounds. What are they based on? Can I see the file, the initial file? Do I have the live audio, and
Allphobic
so on?
13 is now following.
Allphobic 13? That's really interesting. Welcome on in. How are you? Who are you? How did you find the stream? Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome on in. Allphobic? Interesting. So that's the, I would say that's the thing. I would have file source. Like you have the file source, like you have the file upload here, right? You have the thing, but you need either a drop zone or something else. Then you have a sign in, which I'm not expecting it to work, and I'm not expecting the premium section to work either. So I would rather, like, I'm gonna chef so that you probably understand that. Chef is biconvex, it's the same thing. This makes a lot more sense and might be a better option for you compared to what you currently have. This is the interface, right? Let me zoom in a bit. And so this is basically AI chat for your database and backend. What happened here is if I start typing, the button to send is not send or create. The button to send is basically sign in. So I need to be able to sign in to then get something done. And I feel like for you, it would be much better if your, that's the wrong button, if your sign in was in here, where you can see the already generated things with like 3 options and a chat, and maybe you can chat with the thing and like ask question, what can you do, and so on. And then if you ask something that is a remix or whatever, maybe the chat can say you need to sign in first. Or you don't want to have the chat to be enabled because that costs money and tokens and things. You just have, if you want to like ask questions or something, the send button is a sign in button. That's a very user acquisition system that works. I mean, for Convex and for Chef, it kind of worked on me for sure. But that's an option. That's the first thing. The second thing is the current design choices that you have are Tailwind 2, not Tailwind 4, and not even Chat CN. So based on that, I would guess this app is 3 to 4 years old, design-wise. Again, that's not much, but that's the main thing. After that, everything is kind of clean. It just need to be working. That's it. That's it. You don't need like a design at all. You need the thing to be working. I know you sent me stuff in the in the previous version, like these ones, I think the play or the radio, I forgot which one it was, but you had versions that were, that's a very different one. That was this one that to me make more sense than the thing that you just shared, because design wise, that's enough. Like you don't need more than this. This is really good for what it's supposed to do. And you just have the chat. And then again, you have like your sign in button right here. If I'm starting to type and I press the sign in button, I'm onboarded. I have what I've asked for. I'm creating the account. I'm getting the outputs. And then once I'm in the chat, I'm getting this view in a way that makes a lot more sense. So this is to me much better than what you did later. The play is, God damn it, the radio, which is the other one, um, is an interesting environment. It's a lot more now than the others. It's a bit useless because, you know, like it doesn't really um, do anything right there. But, you know, like it's just, it works. That's the thing. Um, and it's interesting. But yeah, for now, the design is not necessary at all. Like I know I'm deeper into design things because obviously I am a designer. But this is my most basic stuff, and I'm not polishing anything. I'm trying to do my best to not polish anything. I'm making sure that the outputs, the view, the things are as boring as they can be so that I can focus on the content and the behaviors and how things are supposed to work. And that's it. And nothing else. And then once I will have everything that I need and that my content makes sense, like my discovery makes sense, um, my profile is there, it contains what it needs to contain. It looks like shit, but I'm fine with it. Once I have the thing that works, that doesn't crash, that is working, then I can spend time on the design. But again, for you and for the thing that you're sharing, this one is good enough for the design. This one is great for the design. This one is debatable, but it's kind of the same thing. And I would go with this. Um, yeah, you have built backend 10 times, but right now nothing works. Like I haven't seen a single version of the thing that you've built that gave me an output of songs. Not a single one. So I don't care about the front end. Like right now, I want the thing to work. I want to be able to just say like I need to create a house mix or something, and then I want to have the output. I don't want to have like an error. I want to be there and see that there is like already AI generated variation. Click on the play button and hear something. I hear nothing. That's not working. I want to be there and say, I don't know, something red, press enter, and then see something happen, and then it creates something. Right now, it has a generation that is failed. Does it work? Then, you know, like that's the, you can build the backend as much as you want. If the backend doesn't work, it's not good. It is not good. So that's the situation. At least for me, I need this thing to at least produce sounds or have like something. Uh, it needs to be there. If you make it no, then it's useless. Like it's the same thing as telling me here is Spotify, but you can't listen to music. Like, are you sure? Sure you can't listen to music on Spotify that is meant to listen to music? No. Like Stony, for example, that gave me No Mercy version 1, and I was like, God damn, that looks like shit. Sorry. Not sorry. Let's redesign this thing. It was because the thing worked. Um, like, it did look like shit. It looked like material design, and it was that in 2021. No good. 2022, technically, but yeah. It was. It was. I wish we had like buzz about it. The first versions. I don't think we do, but I wish we did. Um, you know, that's the thing. it needs to at least do what it's supposed to do. Like if I'm giving you a car, it looks like a car, it smells like a car, it is supposed to make the same sound of like a car, and it doesn't ride at all. It can't move. It's still that doesn't work. I know we have screenshots. But I wish I had like my reaction. Uh, like that's what I'm looking for. Looking for what I said. I saw it the first time. Is that would be really good, to see the progression of okay, first impression, that's fine, it worked, but it's bad. Let's see if we can change here things here and there. And then you came back like the next day, or I forgot. And then we worked on it a bit more, and then we did the Figma file, and then we started working on it together. And then we would have like the entirety of the timeline, but I don't have that. Um, yeah, you worked live. Like that's the reason. That's the reason why it worked. I was here and I saw the thing change while I was saying this should be bigger. This should play sound. This should be like a button that says login. And it's just, oh, it just changed. No thing. Like that type of fast. No reload needed. So yeah, I think again, you have the ID, you have the vision, you have the back end, as you're saying. You don't need the front end to make it work. I really want this to be something that makes sense. The playlist that Chris has made, right? I didn't see that landing page before I saw the app. I saw the app, the environment, and in the first version, which the design was a bit different than this, we already had a search field that gave us, not that it won't see, something. And yes, and then from here, I could select an entry, it added it to the grid, and then I could move around to the node builder, add something else, click on it, and then from there, I have the ability to just move things. That was the first version I saw. Just be able to link things together. And like that's the thing that I saw. Then once I had this on version 1 of an ID that he had, I forgot when, but like not long ago, we had a version. And that, you see, I have it. It works. It does what it's telling me it's gonna do. And it does it well, not well, that is a debate. It doesn't really matter who is saying what and how things are defined. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that was an option. Ooh, ooh, what's gonna happen? Oh, ah, ah, ah. Uh, Interesting. You can notice different things. See, Chris, that's something that you need to fix. Um, yeah, cool. So, yeah, if you show me something that works, then I can give you feedbacks. If you don't show me something that works, then I can only give you hypothetical things, um, and then I don't know. Like it's just Based on what you have explained to me, I have an understanding. Other than that, I don't have an understanding. And yeah. And it's the other way around. Again, you want the lighter fluid, you want the gasoline that goes into the lighter to be somewhere, and then figure out that you can pour it into a small jar with a wick, and then if you put like a spark, it lights up. But you need the foundation, you need the fucking lighter fluid in the beginning, so you need the thing to work. And so if this works, perfect UI, no question. If this works, perfect UI, no question. But right now, it doesn't give me sound, it doesn't give me anything other than the same generated message. And I don't know if that costs money, doesn't cost money. This is really bad. If it costs money to you and I'm just like, spamming the things, don't do that. But, you know, like it needs to work. Because if I'm asking for something that is lo-fi beats, and then it doesn't give it to me, yeah, I can't say anything about it. So that's the idea. Yeah, I mean, if you can have a thing in production, again, I'm going to repeat myself every time, but I don't care. If it looks like this, I don't care. If it works, good. Once it works, yes, we can work on the design, but I don't care. It needs to do whatever it needs to do in order for me to be like, okay, cool. We can improve on top of that. We can say, well, that waveform is kind of weird. That image of the person that you're talking with is kind of not necessarily something that you want to have. Maybe it could be just a fucking model instead of being like a full sidebar. Like that's really simple recommendations, but at least I see the things working. And I see that if I add some stuff here and there and I send a message, it pops in the chat. That makes sense. That is way easier for me to then give you a recommendation. And your concept of getting music remastered, basically, is feasible. It's interesting, but it needs to at least remaster something, even if it's an example, right? If I'm going to help words again, because fuck, sorry. This app, which lets you take a picture of something, scan it, understand what it is, and then give you a word that you can use to learn the language that you're trying to learn using everyday objects. That is impressive. But if you don't have anything on your desk, on your table, on the train, wherever you are, downloading the app the first time, it still gives you something. It's giving you like a set of predefined elements and things that you can use as a base, and then say, oh, I'm going to learn how to say ice cream. I'm going to learn how to say something else. And it just worked by default. That's pretty good. Morton, hi. Welcome in. How are you? How have you been? How's the day going? Yes. You okay? That happens. It is hot. Yes, I am dying right now. I hate it. But yeah, in by default they give you, or at least on mine, they give me like ice cream, which is really good, and that's enough for me to have like the entire thing in it. I understand the concept. I know that it works. I could take like one picture, for free because it's using AI and other things, right? Obviously, to get like the translation and other elements. It's going to be not long before someone is building it on device, but nonetheless, still. But I'm getting the information. I'm getting the brain. The positive? No. Yes, kind of. The positive feedback, but also like the understanding of what the app is trying to do. No time. Because like I'm just I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to know how to say this in a specific language. And I just scan the thing with my phone, take a picture, and I get the word in question. And so this one, for example, that one says that this is instead of bagel. This is like tostada, which is like just not really a tostada, but it's fine. Like, it works. And proof of concept, much better. So I need this from you. I need something that will give me persistent chat or uh, music generation for real, or music generation not for real, as in you on your own create and generate like one music. Let's say I'm going back to 11 Lab because that's going to be our best recommendation thing. You go in there, right? And you say, I need one version of 1 minute of a very simple beat. So let's say a simple dark techno beat with you don't need design, you need the thing to work. Forget about the design. Like you need to get your brain out of design. It is not what you need. Right? Simple dark techno beats. That's it. That's all I need, right? I'm gonna just ask for this. It's gonna generate something. Once I have this, I'm gonna ask, can you make it lo-fi? And then I'm gonna ask, can you make it reggae? Can you make it R&B, like an R&B beat? Can you make it differently, right? No purely acoustic, it's like 1 minute of an output. And then I'm gonna use that on your side and have that as a fake proof of concept of how the thing works. Meaning that the user will pick like one of the beats and then have the ability with the chat to pick like one of the other things and say, this is your starting point. Let's say like it's a lo-fi thing. And then in the options, you have like buttons, and in the buttons, there is one button that is like dark techno. And when the user, which is testing the app, is clicking on it, you make a fake thing that has a spinner, so the AI is thinking, whatever, it doesn't matter. And then you spawn out this one instead. It's a 1 minute beat. Same thing, but it's just the same beat in dark techno. And it's a proof of concept that shows me how the thing is supposed to work. Even if it's fake, I, as the user, will figure it out if I'm asking again. But that's it. Like it's just that's the only thing. That's the only thing you need to do to prove the thing works. Right now, the only thing that you have is fake front ends that are not linked to backends and hopes and big words about what you want to have, but you don't have. So that alone is not enough. Like it's not time to get like the design. Um, like it's just need the thing to be as ready as it is, as fake as it is if that's necessary in the beginning, and then um, and then you could, if you want like a, you just said mashup. If you wanted a mashup, and let me do that here because it's going to be easier for me. Let's say you have your mashup ish. Let's do that into. Be able to do that though. Yeah, maybe. That's kind of weird, but it's fine. Right? Let's say this is your sound wave. I don't do that instead. With sound wave, that's going to be fine. And so that's your song A. That is like, got that in red. And then you have song B. Not that, bitch. That is your mashup, right? So you have song A and song B. And you know that in your mashup, you want your song B to be song B to be song B to be like quieter in this part because then that beat section on song A is what you want. But now you want to also have this section from your initial song, and they all like basically keep the same vibe of things. And so you do your whole system, however it needs to be, but you will see where things from song A are picked up and when things from song B are picked up, right? Just a mashup. That alone, again, you get through stream beats. You use that because that is the MCA free tracks that you can use whenever you need. And you know, it's just it is that easy. You can have the content of songs, you can have tracks, you can have things ready and available in like 15 seconds, as long as you know where things are. Stream Beats is going to be pretty good. You can have access to the playlist, the things, the whatever. Um, this one is $4.99, which is kind of weird because I remember that Stream Beats was like kind of free, so I need to check if they changed something and if they. Yeah, that's weird. That is impressive. That's someone that is using Senpai Gaming stuff. Dang. Don't they have like a website? It doesn't matter. That's the wrong link. Forget about it. Don't click on it. Use this one instead. Um, but that is free music that you can use. Right? That's what you need. Then you take one of their songs and you remix it. But that's it. Just one. Just one. You make sure that the thing that you have to remix songs, do mashups, whatever, is working. As soon as you know that it works, we're good. Like nothing specific. Just it needs to be working. As it works, you have what you need, and then you're good. That's gonna be much better. That's the official thing. They used to have a website, which is something that I thought we had, but now we don't, which is sad. But you can extract like a song from a YouTube video. That doesn't really matter. But yeah, like that's the. I mean, foundation. That's it. You need your foundation to be solid and solid enough to be able to do something. And if you currently don't have access to the AI and system that will remaster, change, mashups, the songs that you are providing, that the user is providing, which is kind of wild, but fine. You use that. Use either 11 Labs or Suno or something else to get like an in between that is a generation that might work. You know. Yeah. It's .NET. Thank you. No, that's not the. That's not the one. That's the thing. This one is like paid, which is why I'm saying that that's not correct. I thought it was. That's why I shared the link, but yeah, the FAQ and things just kind of they don't really explain who they are, what they do. Like to me, that's someone that is trying to just get, you know, the IP of Harris instead, which is kind of wild. I mean, I don't care, but kind of wild. Nonetheless, this one is the place. Same name. I guess it's probably in Sim. God damn, that's loud. Gosh. Oh, you couldn't hear that, but it's fine. It's probably gonna be behind Senpai Records instead. Probably. Right? But which is basically Senpai Gaming. So yeah. Anyways, it doesn't matter. That's not the point of what I'm trying to say. You have free songs, you have access to free things, and that's the only thing that I'm saying. And then um once you have that, you you're good. I I I need you to understand that the thing that you are missing is something that works. UI is not what you are missing. And the thing that you want to have is a platform where user can ask for remixes, mashups, transition, different styles of music that already exist or of things that they have created, right? As far as I understand. That is what you need. So that's it. You don't need, do not need the powerful UI. Or let me rephrase that. You do not have the luxury of having a powerful UI in the beginning. That's probably more accurate, right? Um, you cannot afford a powerful UI and brand identity from the start because you don't have the funds to do so. That's it. And that's fine. But if you don't have the funds to do so, the rest of the thing that you're building needs to be as powerful and impactful and memorable as they could be. So again, don't, I'm saying this as, just myself and what I've built. I made this, which is going to be really, really white right now. I made this, which people saw and they looked at the UI and they say it's interesting. I don't see if it's useful. I don't know if it's useful. I explained what it was, and people were like, "Yeah, I need this. I need this app because I need this. I need to test it out." I showcased how the vocabulary was a thing. People were like, "I need this." Again, I released it, 1,000 users in 2 weeks. That's the first one. The second one, right now, which is not released, is this thing. I didn't do much. I talked about it as I'm currently working on this thing that looks like this, which, to be specific and to show you exactly what I did that. I shared this video where I said I'm kind of interested in perfumes and I built something. Well, I talked about like what I had in mind and I built something and I just showcased basically version 0, right? Of this thing, which is just a collection view where I have the information and I can just say, here is the content, here is what I have in there. I have the notes, I have the perfumes, I have the things, and that's it. That made these two people come in. And then day 2, I talked about it. I showcased more of what I did, so a bit of a progress on the update, not much response. And then someone else said the same thing, and so on. I've been doing that for 12 days. And overall, that's it. And I'm getting traction and views and things and comments and feedbacks and stuff because, like it's something that people have an interest in and they see how it currently work. This one that I just shared, I didn't share anything related to the design of the app. I shared things related to the fact that I deleted all of the code. And I'm still getting some comments that I need to read. But yeah, I am not like banking on the UI being good for the app to be useful. I'm banking on the app to be useful so that it can allow me to then work on the UI. So that's what I want to see from you, basically. I want to make sure that if we talked about something, if we look at something from you, the understanding and the showcasing of what's happening, how it works, and so on is in front of me. Specifically, when I showcase like the design of the app and so on, so that it's just like it's not a proof of concept. But yeah, you don't want 16 of me right there. I'm not degrading the concept. I'm making sure that the concept exists because right now it doesn't exist. I have again, I this is not like degrading on you. If you feel that it is, I'm sorry, there's something on your end that is not how I'm explaining it. But you talked about the concept. I understood the concept in the beginning. You talked about a different concept. I didn't understand. It's fine. Doesn't matter. You said that you had the thing built in the back end. And so far, you've been here since, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months. I haven't seen a single thing that works. I'm not degrading the concept. I'm just saying that so far, in the past 3 months, that you've been coming in and talking about the concept, it's just a concept. And I understand that you might not be like so far in 3 months I haven't seen anything. I have seen screenshots and pages of front end that don't do anything. Like it that's it. Like that's the only thing. Um like so far nothing. So I can't really give you any feedback. And yeah, I know, but this is a concept. Where is it? That's all I'm asking for. That is, I don't care about what people want. I care about what you are proposing, which is like, as you say, configurable radio. That's all. I want to see that. Because if you're just telling me that your product is me listening to a DJ board, me listening to music, me listening to Spotify, me listening to the thing right now, then it's not your product. And I don't see the vision of your product because your product doesn't exist. The concept is your concept, and I'm fine with it. I just want to see your concept realized and available. And I want to be able to click on buttons and proof of concept that, you want to have configurable radio. Show me the configurable radio because that's what you're trying to do. That's all I'm asking. Like it. That's all you need. If you are asking for feedback on a product that doesn't exist, and it's just the front end of the product, the way that things work is impacting how the UI is going to work and going to be. So if I have something that is a recommendation for a music player, a configurable radio, it is different than something that is going to be a user configurable radio based on chat messages, based on presets, based on things. Like there is so much that needs to happen that, yes, but it's just explaining in text. That's the thing that you have a hard time to understand, apparently, which is fine. But if I go into um, let's see. If I go into, how did I call that? I forgot. That? Yeah, that. Right? I had an ID. I shared the ID. We created something. I have something. And from there, I have something that is editable, that is working, that does the thing. It is front end only. No question about this. This is the most basic thing that I could do. And I asked for it. I had something. It works. That's it. Like, the design is shit. No question. I did it. My design here, because it's not really my design, but it's my design, it is shit, but it works. It does what I wanted it to do. Meaning that from here, I can know and say, okay, cool, so this thing is fine, but it's not necessary. Maybe you want some users to have access to the charts itself, and maybe you want some users to have access just to the sliders and nothing else. That's it. That's it. And you're tired of the design gatekeeping. I'm not here to provide free design work. I'm here to help other people understand how design work and how they can improve on their content. So I'm not working for free. I'm giving you advice on things that I see working. Right now, from my own thing, I see it work. I can give feedback. On your own thing, I see it doesn't work. That's all I can tell. But there is no gatekeeping happening if it's just... That's it. Again, the design is good. The thing that you have done here is good. The thing that you have on the radio, I think, is good. Like that, no, on the play. That is good. And yeah, I do. Otherwise, I wouldn't be streaming about design and helping others. But apparently, the fact that I am not willing to give you the time of day and the free design that you are requiring of me makes you entitled to, like, because you are in my chat, you're entitled to me designing for you like I did for Stody? No. Like, no. The fact that I'm giving you feedback is already the privilege on your own. Like, you've been here enough so that I know who you are. I can give you some feedback on the thing that you're building, but you're not building anything that works so far. That's it. Like, that can sound harsh, but that's the truth. Like, the only thing that I can give you here is the time is not supposed to be in the message. It's supposed to be underneath. That's all I see. Your buttons are a bit tiny, and your scroll view when you have more than one message in the container is going down instead of, be a scroll view on the right side. That's it. That's all I can see. It's functional, but that's it. And I've been designing for the game of design for the past 20 years. So I do love design. Don't doubt this, though. Just. Yeah. So that, yeah. That's it. If you think that I'm gatekeeping the design, good. If you think that, uh if you think that the market took off on you, that's a you issue. And if you want to prove me wrong, please. Please. Like, you're saying that you have a version that is live tomorrow. Please. I'm begging for it. Like, I want to see your thing work. That's it. Is the concept on paper? Why not? Not for me. But what I've built for Stony and what Stony is building is not for me either. But I had something to work with. And I'm not working for free. So that's where we are. No. No. Also, that sentence makes no sense, but that's fine. You're not evil to me if you need AI to drastically bring the price of design down. Like that's yeah, and I've been unemployed for the past 2 years. Yeah, I have had no income other than Twitch, which is giving me about $50 every month and a half. That's my income right now for the past 2 years. Obviously, because I've worked for so long, I have a cushion. But yeah, that's on me. That's my choice. If you are homeless, sorry, there is a H, that's very French of me. If you're homeless, not because of your circumstances, that's it. You can't do anything about it, fine. I'm not judging. It happens. You are doing everything you can to get out of it. Fine, that's good. Congrats. Again, I'm not working for free. Because I've been working for so long. And the prices that I have are my prices. And if you want people that are willing to do the work for free, or willing to do the work for lower, I may have people in my contact that could do the things for you. And I'm not against sharing their contacts if they are willing to do that. Like, it really depends on where you are and what you are able to spend. And, you know, yeah, and I'm on the verge of creating the next Amazon. No. I'm sorry, but no. Again, I don't want to break your dreams. I wish your dreams are successful and working. But without any proof, the only proof that I have is your words. And that's really wild of you to say, but yeah. Like, yeah. No. Do use AI, please. Use Horizon. Horizon are really good for the UI part of things. Use it. It's a very good model to create pretty good AI, or pretty good AI for UI. Like, really, I couldn't care less. If you currently think that what you're missing is UI, then do that. But then again, if we go back here, because Theo is the one that is showcasing things, and we go into the two Horizon models, the outputs that we've had there, specifically these ones, are really good. And if that's what you need, go there. Get access to the AI, get access to the models. I don't know if they're free. I don't know exactly where they are. I don't really care about where they are, but they look really good. And they might do something that I would do as well, because, you know, like it's just yeah. Please do. Again, that's what I've been saying. I've been working for so long, I can't wait to teach an AI to design exactly like me. And then be able to do almost nothing and just say, well, we need to change this thing. Because that's what I do. I am a consultant that helps people. That's the thing. No, it's fun. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, like, please, 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 please. You have your UI. Again, your radio or your slash play is good. It's really good. You have interactions, you have good colors, you have good composition. The chat is in the right spots. The quick buttons are in the right spots. Like, there is nothing else that I can really add up as far as the thing is working, and that's what I need to give you better feedbacks. Because again, a recipe app and a cooking app don't look the same. They all have the same thing. They all have the idea of providing content to the user to make the recipe. That's the plan. But one that is displaying mostly the text and one that is displaying mostly the videos of how things work, not the same UI. I need to know why and how things work. And in order to do that, I need to see the things. Like, that's it. That's it. Your way of expressing yourself is extremely Gen Z, and it's fine, but you are not making any syntaxic sentences for me to understand fully the thing that you're trying to build. I have the most vague idea. That's something. And then you boil it down to one concept of personalized radio thing. And then the next week, you are saying something that is different, that doesn't sound the same. So I am. Yeah, but the Figma means nothing. Your first ID with the record player, and you could change like the thing with the fan thing that we talked about. That was really good. But yeah. Yeah, and yet none of them work. That's the only thing I'm saying. And that means nothing. Which is why I laugh, because it means nothing. Yeah, good. Cool. If it's, I mean, again, I mean, for me, I'm thinking proof of concept because again, I haven't seen shit, so it happens. For me, I just want to see this. That's gonna be, which is basically what you already have, right? I want to see roughly. That's gonna be kind of not true because they're not the same, but like that's gonna be fine. I want to see this. That's going to be a drop zone where user can drop exactly what they need, right? So you have a song, you have something, you want this to be their drop zone, and that's it. They drop something, and then underneath you have the remixes, the style, lo-fi, R&B, metal, whatever things. One button, nothing else. That's basically what you currently have on your purple interface, right? Um, and then you again you have it. So you do not need. That's the wrong one. Every time I click on the wrong one. Right? That's it. You drop your song, you drop the thing that you want the remix of, or you search it on the library, you select the style. That's it. And it needs to work. That's it. The design is good. I am not kidding. The design is good for an MVP. You can't have a finished product without going through an MVP. MVP means that the product is working. It's really funny to me that you don't understand that. You're saying that you have all of these things, that the backend works, that your content is working, that you have the API, that you can explain the things, and yet can't see shit. But yeah, if you think I'm gatekeeping, please go spread the words. Tell everyone that I am someone that is a designer of 20 years of experience that is gatekeeping the design industry and making sure that people like you that are currently homeless and on Twitch for some reason don't want to help because they don't see your product. Yeah, please do. Please do. Spread lies. Please. Can't wait. Can't wait. I need something to work. That's it. Proof of concept. MVPs. At least, as I said, at least something that is fake. Generation of one song. Even if it's the same every time. Just one. Because right now, I don't see anything. If you just want a tasteful gradient, as you said, just add a tasteful gradient in the background. And that's it. That's what you need. But yeah. Ask the chat. The people that have been here in the past and have asked for help with existing things. Have they received help? Have they improved their design? Have they seen improvement in the next few weeks based on the thing that I've gave them? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I have receipts. And weirdly enough, so far, you're the only one that is coming back without giving me anything other than message in chat saying that I'm not helping because I'm asking you to explain things in words that make sense to everyone, showing me things that works. So yeah, please go ahead. This is good. Like, this is exactly what needs to happen. I need this, and then I need to be able to do something with that, which you already have. But it's just there are things that needs to be fixed and working and done. And I'm sure that there are stuff that you can do. And and then be good about it. But I would love to understand your brain right now. And where is it? If the site is live, yes, I can have a domain name and something on the site. But if the thing that is on the site doesn't work, you're missing something, and that's fine. Again, I I I want your thing to work, but I don't want your thing to design first before it works. Like, that's it. And I'm gonna repeat myself for the 16,000 times today. The 3 platforms you showed me today are really nice. The one with the 3D sphere in the center, really nice. Looks really good. It has a very pronounced design identity. Like, that's the thing. It's a very new wave era of design, and it's really nice. But it doesn't work. And you can't expect someone else from the internet to have the entirety of what is in your head understood entirely. Like, I mean, unless you really explain in details the pages, the flows, the users, the targets, the things that are supposed to happen, that are not supposed to happen, why not, all of that. And yes, 100%, you can have good design and float IDs. I absolutely agree. I had float IDs in the past, and then I changed my mind. And I probably have float IDs now. For sure. For sure. I am biased to the max on some things. For sure. For sure. No question about that. Like, the thing that I'm building, I'll probably like biased toward the target users. Yes, for sure. Which yeah. It is really interesting. Yeah, I do agree with that. So them, which is the second account. I don't know why you changed your account, but that's fine. That happens. Um, well, at least account name is building an app that is apparently supposed to be an AI that helps you remix content or remix existing songs into different styles. So if you have like a song that you really
Josh
like,
Bodner is now following.
thank you, Josh, for the follow. Welcome on in. How are you? Who are you? How did you find the stream? Welcome on in again. I hope you're good. So it's building an app that is supposed to be an AI that helps you remix and change the songs that you have and like into different styles. So if you have a song that is rock and you want to listen to it in lo-fi, then you can do that. You can ask. That's it. And then so that's the initial premise of the app. At least that's what I understood. On top of that, the other activity is the ability to then go and tweak that remix with the help of a chatbot. So basically what 11 Labs Music has been creating, which is good, but Chris, which is them, has good ideas in terms of how things work because they are, or apparently at least as I understand it, a DJ, or at least someone that is wanting to be a DJ and do the DJing a bit better. And therefore they want like an assistant to help them do things. And so, like, on paper, it seems like a pretty good idea for like DJs and people that like music and music generation, but so far we haven't seen anything past the front screen, which is just I need something in that style. And then after that, we don't know. There is no leasing an hour stream time. You've been here for I don't know how long. In 3 hours of streams, I think you've been the past 2 hours. So you have leased basically way more. Yeah. We don't have the flow to continue. We don't have the project working. Like I haven't seen a drop zone for a song. I haven't seen a picker for a song if it's something that is like the MCA free based stuff. Like you have a category or catalog of things that exist, and then you can pick from there. Like it's but now I yeah, I don't know. And again, I'm improving on flows. I'm not creating flows for free. So it really depends on a lot of things. And can I take 10 clients for $20 in an hour? Depends. Probably not. Probably not. I wish, yeah, I wish the tech in the background was working. Them is saying that the tech in the background is working. I haven't seen it work, but they are saying that it works. I wish, I hope, I want it to work. But then they say it's expensive and pricey. So I get it. Make it. Overall, it seems like a potential project, but it's just a potential project. As a lot of people have said, I've had the idea of Uber before Uber, but you didn't have the idea of Uber before Uber. You didn't have the execution. The execution is what makes it real, and what makes the project the project. Right now, you have the idea of the project, and we haven't seen anything work. And I just want to see the thing work. Like, I really do. It is that easy. And in order to create the mock data, right, you need to understand the flows. In order to understand the flows, you need to understand the product in general, which is it's fine. I get like most of it. But there are still things that I'm missing, obviously, and therefore I need to see more. And every time there is more, it's just a front page. So I can't see more, which is really sad. But I'm here to help. So if you have like other design questions that I can help with, my initial thing is teaching other designers to do better design, not necessarily building products for other people. If you want to learn how to design stuff for yourself, I'm here to help. Yeah. Yeah, please do so. Please do so. There is a lot of people that are doing that. And please make $150 an hour by doing like 15-minute client consultation. Please. Please. I'm not stopping you. Like, again, I've worked in design for so long. I can retire from the design industry. I wish I could, like, really do so and do something else. But weirdly enough, I am drawn to design all the time, and I'm designing things all the time and building products all the times because that's what I love to do, and that's why I'm doing it for free on stream for myself. So, yeah, please, 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 please go for $50, 15-minute design stuff. Please do so. That is a good reference. That is a good reference. If I was Kaisenet of the design streaming, I think I would have more viewers. A lot more of you, though. A lot more viewers that would be arguing with the skills, arguing with what happens. And, you know, it happens. It's fine. It is fine. Again, I don't care. I want to see you succeed. And in order to do that, I want to help you build something that makes sense. The thing is, right now, I don't see shit. So, yeah. And again, if you want like design inspiration in things and you're probably on Twitter all the time, I hope there is like so much in there that would give you the tasteful gradients that you're talking about, the current trends of things with fluted glass, the new type of icons that exist, the behaviors that seems to be pretty good. Like, again, you can pick and cherry pick everything that exists so far and just say, I want this. Like, I want this design. This is exactly what I need. I want this design. This is exactly what I need. Please. Like, it's just everything is at your fingertips. And yet, yeah, I can't wait. Damn, you are not, I don't think you understood. I can't wait to retire from the design industry because it's a shitty industry. And I've been in it for 20 years. And I can't wait to retire and move to something else. And right now you're telling me that the thing is coming to faster? I can't wait. I cannot wait. I wish. I wish it was the case. But yeah, like, it's not. But you know, tasteful gradients, different things. This is the kind of design trends that we are seeing right now. So if you, I would recommend you to get something like this, like a bit of an aura balls gradient thingy to visualize your music. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. That would be great of a new trend glass UI thing with colorful thing basic or based on the design, not design style, but like the music style that you chose. Maybe you go into, I don't know, country, and it's a bit more grungy, more yellow, more orange. Maybe you go into metal and it's more red, more black. Maybe you go into blues and it's kind of blue and purple. Like this, you have so many options to build a, a design environment for your project and make it like a good branding, a good content. And yeah, again, I'm gonna share this link because this is a good option. This person is doing tests across AIs and AIs that exist to build UIs take my job. And they are really good comparison. And you can see which one seems to be the best. And so one of them is probably the one that you want to go for because it makes more sense and it matches your style. Go for that. I would go for Rock. Rock is the current based option in terms of design output. The other option is Steer. Steer is pretty nice. And then going back to what we talked about last Monday, last week, anything is pretty good as well. What that mean? Anything AI, anything GI, I forgot. Creating thing. Yeah. This one is a really, really good option as well if you really want something. But then again, the front end, like you need the thing. Yeah. And I'm human on the other side of your screen as well. You've been shit talking me for the past 3 hours. So maybe, I don't know, think. I'm giving you like tools and things to make sure that what you're building is successful. Because I do not have and will not work for free. That's it. And that seems to be complicated to understand on your side, which is fine. I don't care. But I'm giving you tools. Have a good rest of your evening, Tony. But yeah, like use anything. Anything is really good. It's a pretty. You're probably gonna. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be fun. You have the options too, Stony, that I don't really mind. But yeah, anything is good for creating UI. That's the plan. We have another one that we talked about in the past that was really good. And you know, like everything is at your fingertips. You can see everything. You can have access to everything. And yet, no project. So I'm saying, I haven't said anything other than that. Like even this, which is, you know, basic in terms of conception, is working. Even if it's fake data, it's working. Like proof of concept and things. So the link for this, look in there. This is going to be in Align UI, specifically their version of the code version of their component. So right now they have the Figma file, which is probably what they have done in terms of like, you know, the whole thing. But then this thing is coded. You have the code for the components themselves. They're building these. You're receiving them. These, weirdly enough, they work, and you have the ability to just enter content and so on. You know, like it's just a thing. You don't want the sidewise, not there. But yeah. Again, listen. I know you are like frustrated and you're saying a lot of things and so on, and I get it. It's fine. I understand. I wish GPT-5 can carry your project. I wish, like, again, I'm not saying that you're doing something bad. I'm doing the same thing. I'm carrying my projects, my own apps through GPT-5 and other platforms because, you know, I don't have the dev skills. But I have the product understanding. That's it. And the thing that I'm building are not necessarily the prettiest thing, specifically when they start, But I mean, it's there. It's an option. I have a proof of concept, and I can talk about it and showcase and say, well, I'm adding stuff and I'm making sure that this thing from Dior and is pretty nice, and I can have that into my collection. So I have more stuff in my collection, and therefore I can see, okay, cool. The things that are working right now. I'm losing the fucking header for no reason. Like the header was supposed to stay there, but it's not. What am I doing with that? I don't know. The thing works. That's what I'm saying. So you are hung on something that is not the the issue that you need to focus on, or at least from my point of view. And you can listen to me or not listen to me, that's fine. I don't care. Like, you're here anyway, so I mean, if I was watching a stream, um, I would care about what the person is saying, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. If you have something and you're working on something and it works and you can proof of concept it, like, yeah, like this is a proof of concept. It's a grainy gradient background thing, and you have presets that could, like, look at it. This could be an amazing thing that you could use. Use that. Like, to me, from my understanding of your app, you say metal, and that's the background. Like, that's so good. I mean, maybe not metal for this one. This is very gay, but like you're using blues, you're going into like forest. Then, no, I can't make it happen. I cannot make it happen. But you have the options. That's what I'm saying. Um, like this is a available thing, right? Yeah. Don't think I follow on this one. This is going against what you showed me, which is why I don't understand. I don't understand your position. Because you say you need design, and then you're saying that designs are finalized at this stage. Which means that you don't need me, because you have finalized the design. So it makes no sense. Like, I don't use Twitter. I basically only look at Twitter when we are here on stream. That's usually what happens. I take 2 to 3 hours before we start like the stream to take a look at what I've been posted in the past. Usually it's mostly like things on threads and not things on Twitter, but it's something. And yeah, I would love to. Yes, please. Please, please, please. That's an interesting drop. Mm. Do you? Damn, is that me? I forgot. Are you building SwiftUI based, like SwiftUI first, or are you building not SwiftUI first? No, you are React Native /Vue slash Vue thing, right? I think. Doesn't really matter. Reason why I'm asking, um, yeah, is because on your scroll right here, the new version of the top version, the new version of top scroll situation is pretty much native. If this is web, I would recommend you to use out there. I would recommend you to use what I have here, which we talked about before. You know, where you have progressive gradient, if you can do that. I feel like that would be a bit more of a nice touch. Mainly also because it is like 2024, 2025 designs thing, and because Apple is doing that natively now. If you had that design by default around here, would probably help. It's not that complex. Take that with a grain of salt. For me, the thing that I have is a framer component, so that's way easier than anything else. But I mean, again, I feel like J is going to be the option for us to take a look. I'm not certain that J has a progressive blur thing, but he probably does. Also, Dem, if you want design related things in code because you want to use them, go to J's profile. CodePen, you have all of the things that he has built, and you will have really good uh, overall output. Thing that just work right there. We have this thing with the progressive blur, which is like this one is a bit massive, but yeah. I mean, that makes me laugh so much. Um, do you remember what I said on Monday? Oh, absolutely not. It was basically the same thing that I'm saying today, but um, I'm not someone that has any interest in DJing, and my understanding of DJing is really, really low. My music career that I had for 3 years is just a 3 years thing, and therefore it is a very different thing, different interest, different activities. And overall, um, I wouldn't want to work something that is not necessarily something that I understand or something that I have an interest in. So I I appreciate you being in the stream, even though I mean you've been extremely active in the chat today, which is really by sending messages that are like negative toward me, which is really bad. But that's on you. You decide what you do with your words. I appreciate you being here, of course. But I feel like the time that you spent here, you could have spent it on looking for a designer that would be willing to do exactly that because they are interested in the DJing world. And you would have found someone that is passionate as well, like you, about that world and that thing, and would help you for free for sure. There are plenty of designers that are willing to take on projects that they know wouldn't be paying them, but they need the exposure, they need the learning experience, they need anything. Or they are really good and they just, don't care, or they are really interested in your project and they just want to help you. I just want to help you, but I want to see things work. I want some progress. You know, like Jan has worked on something and we've been seeing progress upon progress upon progress upon progress. And I'm seeing existing outputs. That makes sense to me. I can see how things work. I can see that he is adding like some things, like nice transition with the heat tag, which is kind of lagging, but that's fine. And you know, it's small details stuff, but I can see improvement and progress. And the app is building itself, and that's good. So again, I have nothing against you. I wouldn't be wanting to be credited to anything. And if I go back to the last message that I sent you, because that's important, I would rather you keep the profit and you don't do anything about it. You can cut me a check later if you think that I helped, but based on your past 2 hours, I don't think you think I helped. So don't cut me anything. And um, you know, um, just build the thing. Save your money, build the thing, make sure it works, market it, and then, you know, if it pops up and you need some design work later, don't come to me because you will probably never do that again. But go to a designer that is willing to work with you. That's all I'm saying. But like, I really would rather you keep your profit. That is my statement to you and to your project. I wish it works. I hope it works. I want you to succeed and to be good at what you're doing. That is my realist message to you. I want you to succeed and have the thing work and be exactly as you had it in your head. Please do so. I can't wait to see an article, a YouTube video about someone that I follow that is saying, I've been testing Orchestra.dj for a long time. I think you should do that. I'm sponsored by them. I can't wait. Please do that. Not with me. Not with me. But yeah. And yeah, all this time we could have been in Figma and do stuff. That is true. But I wouldn't be good at it because I don't understand what you're trying to build. And last time, when you paid for my services through something that is really small, that you didn't understand the services in question, and you decided to not be there and spend half of the call somewhere else, just looking at me doing design on your screen, which is not what was agreed upon on the call description, that made me ensure that I would not work for you. You put that on yourself. You decided to book like a 1 hour call and then be half of the time not on camera, not helping, not talking about it. Yeah, that's on you. That's on you. Yeah, and I refunded you the second time because you made a mistake, and the third time because you made a mistake again. So, yeah. Some people in here have paid hard money as well and um, have had, you know, branding done, website done, apps done. They have paid and they have been invested in the calls and the interactions with the designer, how things are supposed to do and to be. But that's fine. That is fine. Like nothing wrong about it. Yeah. The simple thing I said on the last stream, which was, I don't think anyone would want to be a DJ, or anyone that is a DJ would want to press a button to remix something, could have given you all the information you needed to know that I wouldn't be the right person to work with you on that project specifically. Because, yeah, like it needs to be understandable by people. And right now in the chat, no one has understood what is supposed to happen. And you are just saying that it's customizable radio or remixes through AI with a backend API. That's what you've been saying, which is fine. But it means nothing. Or at least for me, it means nothing. And you're probably going to answer with a shake my head again, because, you know, that seems to be your bold answer, which is fine. Again, I had seen something though earlier, and that was mostly for you. Like this one was pretty of an interesting thing as well that could work for the desktop version of the illustration that could go on the website. I feel like it's an interesting type of illustration because of how your logo work, because of the 3D-ness hexagonal thing, that you think these overall thing are going to be pretty good and pretty interesting. So, you know, the usual references and design work. So, yeah. Yeah. Cool. I have no understanding of who the artists that are willing to pay for remixes are. So I'm not the right person for you. Again, I'm just, you know, repeating myself. Not the right person. Like you should, to me, you should find someone that is willing to, not willing, but like maybe a designer that is also a DJ, maybe a DJ that is interested in having like the suites of things in the browser, maybe someone that is aspiring to be a DJ like yourself. I think that's what you said last time. And someone that just wants to become a DJ and, you know, do that. That's that's crazy. Yeah, 100%. Please, 100%. We have access to so many people, and yet, yeah. What is this second thing? I have another one that I know I said for you. Like there is this whole series, Jan, for the aircrafts that were pretty impressive. I don't know exactly like what they use and what they do, but I think it's pretty useful and pretty interesting to, you know, take a look at. It kind of matched with the style. It's also very cyber and not exactly your style in the app, so debatable. That's the thing. God damn, I knew I would find it. This is really similar to what you have done, and this is the 2022-2024 environment thing. VD, hi, welcome in. Welcome back. Yeah, I think so. Again, what Dem is saying is also kind of annoying in the sense of there are like way of presenting things that just don't convert. Some of the initial ideas that Chris had was providing after the fact the basically the music tracks to be able to then tweak it through the chat. And I do think that this is a good idea. The fact that you could like give it a song that exists and it would extract and remix some of the parts, and then you can say, oh, I don't like the bass, but I do like the drums on this thing. I would love to mix that with that song, like singer voice, whatever. That makes so much more sense, and I think DJs might be interested in that, in the ability to just like re-timbre, re-hone, remap uh, some of the instruments and other things. That would be a really good thing. But based on the explanation that we had so far, unsure. Unsure. But yeah, this thing, yeah, is really interesting. The fact that it's floating is really nice, and then the way that they have it stacked. Again, this is the very much 2023, 2024 straight but not straight organization of cards, and it's interesting because you have like a very simple stack, and so for you that could work as well, based on the fact that it is a grid that is very similar and you have the same gradient at the top with the background below and so on. The only thing that I would change for this one is the distance between the bottom and the element itself. I would make it a bit lower. I know that this is like the 46, 56 pixel relationship for the bottom bar, and there is like a bit of a safe area thing, but I think there is the safe area plus like the 16 pixels that are added, that he has on the side, or they have on the side, and so that's a tad too much. It wouldn't be able to be like fully concentric like the new Apple display unless they make the size of this thing a bit smaller, a bit less wide. But other than that, it's a very interesting floating at the bottom, which I think would have been able to match with your style and your app specifically. But yeah, that's the one that I had in mind. We have like so many. In the past few streams, I have said so many times, this is for Yan, but he's not here right now. So it happens so often, mainly because of Keeper first version. Um, most of it was really well designed in the first place. There was some things that were like kind of off grid, but then the discussion that we had about the design itself was really nice, and then gave me like other things like this shit, but like not this one. But yeah, this one was really nice. Sadly, I can't really go further down. Twitter is just not today. Not today, bitch. Which is fine. But yeah, nice thing. It is a nice thing. Like that navigation is really nice. I know that Ilya has done, we talked about it last time. Ilya has done really something similar for their app, their things, that they are talking about. Like these folders are on his website officially. He's supposed to release that on his portfolio, and we haven't seen a portfolio in 4 years. So it's a thing, but it's a nice design. I know he worked on something that is really similar to the ish thing some time ago, that he had like a full organization, which I think would be good for you as well. To not necessarily just have like a two-column situation, but potentially have also cards that span across in your feed. Like I know that you talked about earlier being like on this one, the fact that this pictures, for example, is much taller than what it needs to be, and therefore it is cropped by the notch and the dynamic island on the phone. I feel like if you had a panoramic view as well, it would be probably beneficial for you to get it in a panoramic view. So if you were to be like in the grid that you did, which I just zoomed out like a dumbass, but like this one is wider, and I feel like if you had it in a 2 block wide, that could be really interesting to just play with things. But not necessarily all of them, but like potentially here and there. Just this one is bigger, and so that's the horizontal grid, which is not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is that you should is a big word. You could have something like this, for example, where you have like regular situation, right? All that. And maybe this one is bigger, not that big, so on, like your current masonry grid, but then you have a picture that's in the center that's just taking more space. Or maybe you have like a panoramic view of something. You could have something like this in the center of your existing grid. It might be a bit more complex, to be honest, to figure out how to properly organized. But if you have like, if you have like a panorama, that's the thing, or 360 video or something that, is way wider than it is tall, and it breaks, like, I don't know, by a factor of 10 or a factor of 4, that its width is 4 times its height, then maybe you could just expand it so that it takes 2 columns, and it will basically behave like a divider in your whole grid. That's an interesting thing. The only issue that I have with this is the probability of you getting 2 images end up exactly aligned is going to be kind of low. Obviously, you can reorganize the fucking sizes of things, but it's going to be kind of low. So you might end up with something like this, and I don't think this is good. I don't mind it, but I don't think this is good. I see. Well, if you don't like it, you don't like it. That was just to go with this one that is wider, but this is like the header, so that's kind of fine. But nonetheless, the rest is really good. But yeah, you see this? This is a sliver something. Yeah. Eh. Yeah. I'd say that's the thing. But it's nice. It's a nice progress. The bottom section is pretty nice, and the top section, your settings are really nice. The pop-up on the top left is nice. Brain is telling me that maybe it's tiny. Maybe it's a bit too tiny, and maybe you could benefit from having it full width, as an expanded thing. Going back to what we were talking about earlier of using your own app, because you know how it works and you built it, you can't really make mistakes. And so something that seems obvious to you because you've been using it for a long time might benefit from a bit more space, a bit more elements, specifically if it's touch related. So, yeah, I would say that's the main recommendation that I would have, so that you basically have, um, you know, good accessibility, good touch zone, because that is necessary. So, yeah, that is the thing. I'd say that's the thing. I'm going to send you to Khalil because he's live. He's been live for 13 hours. That's crazy. He's probably gonna, um, you know, go sleep soon. But he's been live for 13 hours, and I need to pee and go take a shower and do other things. So yeah, as always, thanks a lot for being here. Highly appreciate it. If you want to watch the VOD for some reason to see all of the debate, it happens. That's going to be on YouTube. If you want to ask a question when I'm not live, you can go on the Discord in the design threads things. And I should change that. But yeah, if you want to learn Japanese, as always, use that. If you want to give me some money,
Mom?
please do, but buy UI kit instead of buying a sub. And yeah, I'm sure that Dem has one on this fan battle for sure. For sure. There is no question on this one. But yeah, as always, eat something, drink something, be kind to each other. And yeah, I'll see you all on Friday. I hope the fucking app works with SQL because goddamn. Nox, if you want to ask question next time, please do so. And if you want to just lurk, I appreciate it as well. Take care of yourself. And yeah, I'll see you all soon. Bye.